Hi everyone, I had 15 minutes free, so I thought I would jump on live with you guys and we can talk through everything eczema. So I'm assuming once people start joining, this is going to be a Q&A. So if you're watching the live recording, thanks for watching. I'm actually going to pull from our Q&A from yesterday just to get us started. So let's go with this question. So the question is, how does somebody quit coffee/caffeine? And the easiest way to do this is to just do it slowly. Try to cut back, or you really have to recognize if the coffee is habitual for you or you really need the caffeine. Because if it's habitual, try to replace it with a different habit. But if it's the caffeine you need, try to switch it with like a green tea or a matcha or even a chai latte just to get away from the coffee itself. So that was a quick little question just to get us started, but you guys are more than welcome to ask me anything. This is a completely open Q&A for you guys, so ask me anything. The next question is a healthy fats recommendation. So healthy fat, we like omega-9, we like omega-6, and I can kind of start at this place with you guys since I do have 15 minutes to talk. So let's talk about different types of fat. So there's omega-6, omega-3, and omega-9. There is omega-7. That's present in macadamia nuts, but we mostly just talk about those three. So omega-9 is like a mono. So there's like mono and then there's poly, which it's complicated, I know, whatever. We don't have to get into all of that, but omega-9 is healthy. Omega-9 would be olive oil and avocado oil. Omega-6 can be inflammatory if it's not matched with omega-3. And so omega-3 would be things like fatty fish. That's why I'm always telling you guys to eat salmon, but any sort of fatty fish like a sardine, that's really, really healthy for you as well. Flax oil is a vegan source of omega-3. So omega-6 would be things like almonds, really high in omega-6. That's why I don't love almonds for eczema. Sunflower oil, sunflowers in general, or like sunflower seeds in general. Yeah, there's a ton of things that are high in omega-6. And so you have to have the balance of the two, which is why you want to choose nuts like walnuts because they have a nice balance. But you guys are asking me questions, so let's get into what you guys who are here live with me are asking. So my brother got eczema. We don't know what the root cause is. He's managed his stress levels well and he gets enough sleep, but his eczema is severe. He won't consume coffee also. Any suggestions? Yeah, so it kind of depends on if he's used medications. So could it be a medication withdrawal that he's going through? Where on his body is the eczema? If it's like the insides of the elbows, the eyelids, the neck, that's kind of candida. So it kind of depends on what his symptoms are, what he's been through. Maybe we can talk through that. Next question is, what are the foods that should be avoided for eczema skin? So absolutely everybody with eczema is going to be slightly different. There are generalized things that everyone could do to start healing their skin. So there's without a doubt inflammatory foods. So that's why I always talk about fridge foods, fried foods, refined sugar, eggs, dairy, gluten. Now we can dive into that a little bit because I know you guys are like, but I can eat eggs and I can eat this. And so let's dive into that a little bit deeper. But fried foods for sure. So fried foods, let's talk about like fried chicken, for example. Most fried foods are coated with wheat, and that wheat likely contains glyphosates, which are pesticides. And so these pesticides are really harmful, but the gluten itself can cause leaky gut. It can cause issues in our gut. And so then that food is fried in oil, and usually they're using a vegetable oil, which is canola oil, safflower, sunflower, soy oil, peanut oil, stuff like that. And so all of those things are inflammatory. And so that's why fried foods should be taken out of your diet completely. The same with refined sugar. So the first two in fridge foods, fried foods, refined sugar, those are kind of definites that all people, not just people with eczema, should be avoiding and not eating on a regular basis. So refined sugar being like white sugar, brown sugar, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners are awful for you. And artificial sweeteners do not include things like stevia and monk fruit. I really like monk fruit. That seems to be the safest, different type of sweetener out there. Now, eczema gets complicated because we all have these different root causes. So you could have leaky gut, you could have candida, you could have SIBO, you could have C. difficile. So these are things that are in the gut, but then your liver can become overworked. Your kidney might have issues. There's a lot of things that could be happening that can change one person's diet from another person's diet. And that's why I encourage my clients to learn how to listen to their body, because honestly, that's the number one thing that you need to heal. Okay, so where are we at with everything? Even after use steroids, also, it's not okay. So if somebody has used steroids and that's not helping, that's called a steroid addiction. And this is kind of pointing me that your brother may be having a withdrawal from steroids, potentially. Protopic and Elidel can also cause withdrawal symptoms. So if he has a history of medication, he might just be coming off that medication. Recently, I've discovered that steroids can actually cause a candida overgrowth. And so candida seems to be like this really common root cause for a lot of people. So I would be curious to see if your brother could benefit from the candida diet, from some candida supplements like Sarah Defend, Balance One Sarah Defend. That's a really awesome supplement that I've been diving into lately with my clients. Okay, I have a sensitivity to fish. What can I use instead? So like I said, flax oil is a vegan source of omega-3. Also high quality eggs, like super. So this is exactly what I want to talk to you guys about, because I know there's some confusion. Eggs, no eggs, what's the deal? A lot of people can develop a allergy to eggs. So that's usually a pseudo allergy, and it's not a true allergy. It's not an anaphylactic allergy. And so just some of the most common like food allergies will include gluten, eggs, and dairy. And so eliminating those for a couple of weeks off the bat and seeing how your body feels is recommended. After that, including them back into your routine could be a possibility depending on how your body reacts. So a organic pasture-raised egg is the highest quality egg that you could get, and they would contain omega-3. Alrighty, hi everyone. Hi. Tips on staying positive and accepting during eczema flare-ups. I've had constant severe eczema and trying everything to manage it, but it's really difficult to stay positive and accepting on my skin. I know that is so tough. That's something that it's something that I was always with my skin. And I know that's a difficult thing, but maybe if I share some of my mindset when I had severe eczema, it could help you guys feel inspired and uplift your mentality and the whole thing. So back in 2017, when I had the severe eczema, I was so inspired by people talking about the fact that they could heal naturally. And I could feel my body shifting when I did certain things. And I think even though in the beginning it was very much non-linear, so for example, I found green tea and I started drinking green tea in the mornings. And I realized that if I drank green tea in the mornings, that bright red skin would actually become less red and less inflamed when I drank green tea in the morning. And so that was like one thing that I was just like, wow, look at this. Like, this is so cool. And even though a few weeks later I had the worst flare-up of my life, I was starting to kind of get it, that like I was in control of my own body. And I just think having that fear and being completely out of control is such a scary feeling. So once I realized we really do have control over having health conditions. It was so inspiring for me. I also wanted to add that part of staying positive and accepting is realizing how much your mental state can impact your skin. So stress is one of the biggest impactors on eczema. And so when you shift that mindset, so something you can do and something that I do absolutely every single day of my life is right when I wake up, I get really positive things into my life. So for me, I trained my TikTok algorithm to show me affirmations, to show me all of these beautiful positive things. So actually, right when I get up, I'm on TikTok because I need to be hearing people being positive, be hearing all of these amazing things. It could be that you're reading affirmations, you're writing affirmations, you're saying affirmations out loud, whatever you feel like is going to work for you. And you just make your brain start thinking that way right when you get up. So then around noon, right, you've started your day, your brain's going into different places. I do the same thing. I will have my lunch and I'm listening to affirmations. I'm thinking positive things. And so even though we have eczema, it doesn't make you have to be negative. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. And I think that that's such an interesting mindset of we think because something's going wrong, we have to feel bad about it. But you don't have to feel bad about it. You can be very accepting and just be this is where I'm at right now, and that's okay. And I think that that's such a hard thing to come to. But if you keep practicing that, I think that would be really, really helpful. And please let me know in the comments if all of that was helpful for you guys to hear. Alrighty. I have multiple food allergies, but even if I stay away from them, I still get severe outbreaks on the back of my thighs. What do you recommend? I would write down everything. I mean, honestly, the most important thing for you guys to realize is it's you and your body. Nobody on this earth can tell you exactly what you need to eat to feel better. Yes, I can talk to you and I can probably get you pretty close, but ultimately it's your relationship with yourself. And when you write down everything, okay, let's just go through my day, for example. And yeah, if you guys want to give me a little heart to know that this is helpful, that would be so great so that I know I'm on the right track with you guys and I'm telling you really helpful things. So let's say, every time I eat breakfast, I'm eating celery and hummus. I'm eating eggs. And so let's just say I start off there. And so my hummus is really clean. So hummus is something that a lot of people with eczema can eat, especially if you make it at home. Sometimes hummus contains inflammatory oils and you want to stay away from that. But if you're finding one that has olive oil, chickpeas, lemon, tahini, that's a great hummus. So let's just say the first thing I ate was hummus and celery. I'm going to write down hummus, celery. Even before that, I'm going to write down how I feel. So today I woke up, my skin feels great. I'm going to write that down. I don't have any itchiness. My eczema's dry and flaky. I feel great, right? So then I'm going to eat my celery and hummus. And then I'm just going to sit there and notice any sensation. Do I get a headache? Do I feel better? Do I feel hydrated? Do I feel dehydrated? Do I feel lower in energy, higher in energy? Does my eczema have any sensation? Does it feel itchier? Does it look redder? Does it look inflamed, right? And so you just go along your day like that. And we live such busy, busy, busy lives that we're just running full speed all the time. And we're never slowing down to just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, to listen to your body, you have to slow down. And because we live these fast-paced lifestyles, it seems unfathomable for us to slow down. But just take one weekend to get to know your body. Just cancel all of your plans and just take time for you and yourself and just see what's going on. Just be very curious. Approach this with curiosity and see what makes you feel good and see what doesn't make you feel good. Like I said, yes, I can sit here and I can rattle off foods, but everyone's going to have a different set of foods that they can and cannot eat. So if that was helpful, send me those little hearts. I know sugar is a no-no for me. I get that. If I sat down and I had a cookie like I would want to eat, my eczema would not be happy with me at all. What's some supplements to get a clean gut? So, oh, thank you guys. Thanks for the love. Okay, awesome. Sounds like we're on the right track here with what we're talking about. So as far as supplements for gut health, it's funny because everyone wants to include probiotics. Everyone pushes probiotics. But actually, if you have an imbalance in your gut, so if there's an overgrowth of candida, an overgrowth of some sort of bacteria, probiotics aren't actually the first step. The first step is kind of figuring out what that overgrowth might be. So if you're reactive to sugar, if you're craving sugar, if you have all the symptoms of candida, it's safe to kind of assume that you have candida overgrowth, especially if you've taken antibiotics. And so the first step in that process is going to be to take an enzyme that breaks down the biofilm and take chlorella with it. And so this is something, if you've had a one-on-one call with me or you're my client, this is what we've been talking about lately. And all of this stuff is going to be in my new Candida course. So for some of you, you might or might not know, but this spring, summer, I'm going to finally put out the Candida course, and it is so detailed. I've been so obsessive about making it just as easy to comprehend as humanly possible. So one thing I talk about a lot in there is supplements. I have a whole module just on supplements and what they do and how they work. And so with the gut, it's using amino acids. So amino acids are found in healthy sources of meat. That's why I'm always pushing bone broth. It contains so many amino acids. It's really good for collagen production, and it actually heals leaky gut. There's those enzymes that break down biofilm. There's also herbal antifungals, but the gut itself and the lining of the gut needs certain things. And that's why I'm telling you guys to eat things like leeks. Leeks contain fiber, and good bacteria will eat that fiber and produce butyrate. And this is like this really nice mucus lining. It lines your gut, it heals leaky gut. So I don't say you should eat cabbage, leeks, salmon, all of these things that I'm always saying to you for no reason. It's all very gut healing foods. It detoxes the liver. It's all of those things. So that's kind of like the starting place with the gut. I only have maybe 5 more minutes on here, but thank you guys for coming on and talking with me today. And I will be reposting this on my page so you guys can listen to this again. Your tip on imagining a line going down the middle of my body somehow relaxes my mind and stops me from itching. So that is such a weird thing, but it has to just do with your nerves and the way that your nerves line up in your back. And I did a lot of digging into the nervous system and just the way that the whole itch thing works. I did a whole 3 months of just learning about that. And because all of those nerves line up in your back, it's the center of your body. And so drawing that line mentally, and basically what they're referring to is to stop scratching unconsciously, is to draw a line down the center of your body, imagine it, and imagine your hands staying away from your flares, because usually we're reaching over that center line to scratch. And so when you imagine that line going down the center and you're saying, no, I'm going to keep my hands apart, it's really, really, really helpful. Great. I just want to thank you guys for all of you guys who just joined. I am going to stop here, but I hope this was helpful, and hopefully I can come on live maybe sometime next week. So I'll see you guys then. And if you have any questions, you can DM me, or I'll leave a little Q&A box. It might still be up from yesterday, but I will see you guys another time.